Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, all. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome to the United Arab Emirates and welcome to Dubai, the city of happiness and the country of happiness. It's my great pleasure to address you from those who are coming from the CIS. I personally worked in many of the states in the CIS, and I have enjoyed exploring this rich culture of those countries. And I discovered that we are so close to each other, even though in the past we didn't know how close we are. Nowadays, it's an opportunity for all of us to meet and to discuss and to share and to learn from each other. As you all know, UAE is relatively a new country, but I think we have demonstrated as a government a very efficient governance system that today many of the major countries around the world come to learn from some of those experiences. So we are the lab of the future governments. A few weeks back, we had the World Government Summit, in which all governments have participated in one form or another. The objective is to improve the governance of the different businesses through giving an example of how we as a government improve the government, first of all, of how we manage things. And then it cascades down through that proper governance system that will attract investment and promote businesses. The Silk Road and the linkage with your countries is in our heritage. And I think there is a great opportunity for all of us to complement each other again. Some of the challenges for any government that was or is depending on hydrocarbon resources or any sort of finite resources is to set a long-term plan of how they are going to manage when those resources are over. And we are fortunate here in the United Arab Emirates that our government is always visionary on the challenge, and they start way before the challenge comes. We're not talking about 10 or 20 or 30 or even, we're talking about maybe 50 years or more that the oil is going to be fully produced from United Arab Emirates, as we are one of the major oil producers in term of reserve holder as well. But that does not prevent us from developing a strategy and a plan of being independent as a government from the revenues that comes from the oil. So it's rather a plus, not a base. And that's what we will work with this new vibrant government that His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed, the President of the United Arab Emirates, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid have announced and endorsed. This government is going to look at the future. This government is going to put a plan of this transition. And I think the CIS can learn from that experience. One of the things that we used when the oil prices start to decline is to put a plan to deregulate the gasoline and diesel prices. And we were very successful in taking that very difficult decision as a government. And we were, I think, very efficient as well in the transparency between us and the people and the businesses here, so it went very smooth. And after implementing that, the rest of our neighbors started to do the same. And I compliment them for doing so. Subsidy in the future is going to be optimized. And we need all of us, businesses, individuals, to contribute in building the economy. And I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that we will again beat the deadline and give another example of how a government can put a plan and implement it, and give another example to the world of how we do this transition. Yes, the oil and gas market is in a downtrend, and that's good for those consumers. And I think that puts lots of pressure on you as CIS countries, because you are exporting hydrocarbon, gas, and oil. But I think there is an opportunity, and that opportunity is to look at the full value chain, to look at attracting investments in your countries where you utilize each barrel and each molecule of gas before it's exported. There are lots of industries that can use this. And you can take an example of the United States and Canada, where with the shale gas boom, they started to invest more and more on the petrochemical business. But for a major investors to come, you need also to work your regulations to attract. You need, for us here in the United Arab Emirates, we found that the best way for us to go and invest and also attract investment is to sign some important treaties. Some of them tackle the tax issue, so the double taxation. And some of them tackle the protection of the investment. So when our investors go and invest there, we know that they are going to be protected. Those are the kinds of things that I advise you to consider from the experience of the United Arab Emirates. The diversification of your economy, part of that should be the diversification of your energy resources. Don't depend on hydrocarbon only, even if you are a producer of hydrocarbon. That's another lesson from the United Arab Emirates. We are aspiring to reduce the dependency on natural gas from almost 100% today to around 70% in 2030. And that's going to help us to invest and becomes creative and innovate in the field of renewable energy. You have an opportunity there as well for your economies to be using less of the hydrocarbon and direct the gas that you use in generating electricity to other sources of industries, and use that gas for the industries to make your economy stronger. I don't want my address to be long, but I think this is a great opportunity. And I can assure you that your brothers here in the United Arab Emirates and in Dubai will be open to any suggestion and will work with you and share all of the knowledge we have, because we have a vested interest in your countries, and we have a vested interest in rerouting or reuse the Silk Road again, coming through United Arab Emirates and coming through a major city like Dubai. Thank you very much.